I do want to first go over what exactly reactivity is, because you see that term kind of kicked around a lot. And my definition of it is that your dog is reacting too much or inappropriately to something that would commonly occur in our day-to-day life. It doesn't mean it's something that would naturally happen. A lot of our dogs' lives and our lives are unnatural for what we have been designed to do as we evolved into what we are now, dogs and people. So it's not greeting other dogs on leash is not something that dogs would ever naturally do, but it's something that they have to do all the time, or at least pass other dogs on leash. So it's something that would commonly occur. And whatever the reaction is, whether that's really intense pulling, barking, lunging, snarling, or like some big show of aggression, anything that would be considered like out of the norm of what you would hope a dog would do when they see another dog, which our hope would be maybe look at the other dog, acknowledge the other dog, or just completely ignore the other dog, or quietly, peacefully negotiate some body signals to approach another dog. And it's important to know that this is a heavily emotional thing for your dog. It's not logical or rational. We try to think so much, or at least the dog training world tries to think so much or talk so much in terms of your dog doing a behavior and then getting a reward for it. And we almost will just kind of throw that out as we're working with reactive dogs. This is a completely irrational thing. It's heavily emotional. It's not something, and the food we use in training isn't really a reward. And we'll talk a lot more about that. So I'll use the term treats, but I won't use the term rewards as much. But I really want you to understand that it's emotional. It's not something you can make your dog sit and give them a cookie and then that makes them more likely to sit or something in a logical sense. This is a lot more like a irrational phobia that a person might have, or a phobia of something that causes an irrational reaction. Like a phobia of spiders where the person can't go in closets or completely has a meltdown and loses it when they see a spider. It's normal to be afraid of spiders. Like, we're genetically programmed to think spiders could potentially be dangerous, but to the point where you can't live your life because you're so afraid of spiders, or running across a spider in a instance that did not harm you in any way caused you to have a meltdown that threw off your whole day or hour or several minutes or whatever, would be considered an overreaction. I will use that spider example a lot because it's a lot like what we're dealing with. It's not like if I want you to do, if you eat your peas, then you can have dessert kind of a thing. This is like, oh my God, there's a spider and I've just lost my mind. I would also say that because of this emotional aspect, training reactive dogs is not that easy or that simple, which is probably why it's one of the most common things I see. Most things in training are pretty simple, but not that easy. Like, just do this and your dog will do this, but that's not as easy to do practically in the world as it sounds. But you're dealing with some complex emotions here on kind of a sliding scale that's affected by all sorts of things in the dog's internal and external states. So it's not the easiest thing. And because of all this and the fact that there are so many resources on how to train reactivity because it's so common, I'm not going to go too much into the details of the mechanics of training it. I will put a list of resources below this video for you to check out. And I will talk about how I do it, but this is not going to be a step-by-step how to train reactivity.